Good evening, I'm Micah Ullman. 2 Laguna Beach hotels have been closed after at least 20 people were involved in a violent brawl. Authorities closed Hotel Laguna and 14 West Boutique Hotel after members of 2 different security teams got into a physical altercation. KTLA's Orange County Bureau Chief Chip Yost is in Laguna Beach tonight. Chip.
Yeah, Micah, this is a wild tale. City officials telling me they've never seen anything like this. As you said, 2 hotels were shut down over an altercation between 2 different groups of armed security guards. That, according to city officials. One of the hotels we're talking about is behind me. You see, this is Hotel Laguna here. It has a nice beachfront view. It's under renovation, needs some work. This is what it looks like from Coast Highway. If you've driven by it, here's some video of that. But Laguna, Hotel Laguna and also 14 West Boutique Hotel are owned by the same group. There's apparently a big dispute going on between some of the owners of that group, or some of the members of that group that own these 2 different hotels, about who should do what, who can be involved in what. That dispute led to one group of armed security guards confronting another group of armed security guards at one of the hotels. One of the incidents happened at Hotel Laguna. In that case, we're told there were up to 20 security guards involved in what at some points was described as a brawl. We talked to the chief of police about what happened there. Was it a fist fight, or what kind of altercation was taking place?
It was a fist fight between both sides of the security teams.
Oh, so 20 people going at it.
That's correct.
And then, and you guys obviously go in there, you notice they're armed. How does that change your approach?
Like I said, it's a very dangerous and scary situation, and the officers were able to go in there and de-escalate the entire scene, and again identify who the primary aggressor was and immediately take him into custody.
Now, there were also altercations at the 14 West Boutique Hotel just down the street from here. Police basically told them, they tell us to cut it off, just cut it out. Stop all this going back and forth. They asked not to have any armed security at these hotels because they didn't want this situation to escalate. Apparently, they went back to one of the hotels, found that one of the security members was armed, and that's when the city decided to take a very unusual action. They ordered both hotels closed. This from the city manager.
So under our provision of nuisance abatement, the city manager is authorized to take action and close buildings or public right-of-ways or private roads, private right-of-way when there is an unsafe situation. So in order to protect the public, I decided late last night to issue the nuisance order and close both properties.
Now, again, these are members of basically the same ownership group in a dispute that are involved in all this. It's a kind of a complicated story. We talked to the attorney for some of the members of the group involved in this. That attorney told us he disputes the fact that both sides were armed. He says the side of the clients he represents were not armed. Chris Wolf is going to have more on this story at 10, more on that interview with that attorney. But right now we're told that lawsuits have been filed today on both sides. So this is still playing out right now. But 2 hotels in Laguna Beach closed down over a very unusual situation. For now, reporting live here in Laguna Beach, I'm Chip Yost, KTLA 5 News.
All right, Chip, thank you.